everybody. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. It's Sunday, where we sew on a Sunday. That's why it's called Sew Sunday. Duh. Just kidding. So today we're going to do a beginner project. The most beginnerist it gets. This will be very easy. There's going to be nothing to nest, nothing to match. Just put it all together and lay it out and bam, you have a quilt. Poof, done. Because, you know, some people out there are beginners. And then sometimes you just want to go back to basics. Like, well, I don't always want to go back to basics, but I know that there's some people that are like, hey, that would be awesome because of all the empty space that you can do quilting in and practice your free motion quilting. So that's what today's project's going to be, is something that'll give you blank space to practice free motion quilting. So let's see who's all here. Let's open this lovely thing up and see. Ooh, it goes far. We got Karen, Tammy, Peggy, Karen, Dawn, Melody, Tracy, Mary, another Tracy, Jenny, Marlene, Polly, Geraldine, Colleen, Lori, Mickey, Norma, Linda, Joanna, Sherry, Sharon, and so many more. Wow, that list, you guys have been here for a while then, I guess. That's what you could do now that it allows me to schedule it again, which is great. So for today's project, this is all you're going to need. I have a layer cake. It's called Solana. Is that Solana? Yeah. Solana by Robin Pickens for Moda. I looked it up. This can be found online. Okay. So this is something that can be found online. And it has lovely big flowers and little flowers and, oh, here, we got to show you. It has ladybugs and more flowers. And I've used this fabric before in other quilts here on my channel. So this is nothing new to me. I've used it before. So we have a layer cake. Look at those pretty little cutie guys. Okay, so we have that. And then I have a layer cake of a solid, which is brown. I know what you're thinking. Tiffany, brown? Really? Brown? Yeah, I know. I really don't like the color brown, but it gives me an excuse to use the brown thread that I don't really ever get to use on my long arm, but I bought it anyway because you never know when I get a brown quilt and it needs brown thread. So I have all these like brown colors and I need something to use them on. So I got a brown layer cake and this, but we are only going to use like 35 of these and we're going to, oh, Susan, thank you very much. We're going to cut the layer cake in half because I am going to make matchy quilts because I have 2 brown layer cakes and I didn't really ever know what to use them for. So this project is going to be a Twinsie project, except for today's video, we're only going to use one because I really don't need to use both of them in the same video. Unless I get done with the first one, then I could start the second one, but you already know what it looks like. So we're going to take this layer cake and I'm going to choose out 35 pieces and then we're going to slice them in half. So if you have a, what is the word for it? A jolly bar. I think that's what the half a layer cake is a jolly bar because I've had them before. If you have a jolly bar and then a layer cake, that'll even work better because that's all you really need for today's project. So I'm going to choose out my fabrics. I'm definitely going to pull out these white ones because I really don't need the white ones. Okay, so we got one.
Why are you not going to use all the white ones?
Because they just have beans on them or whatever. These are coffee beans or something, isn't it? Or seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds. Look at that. See, they look like coffee beans when they're on fabric. So there's number 2, 3, 4.
So hold on, you're not going to use those at all? You're
Probably.
not going to use all the fabric?
I will use some of these, yes. Okay, I will stack these later. We're going to use one of these. That makes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'll do this 18. A fan sent this to me. That's where it came from. I can't talk now. I lost. What number was I on?
16 or
17. 18, 19, 20, 21. We're going to knock that one out. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We're going to remove that one. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. Okay. I have removed just a couple of them. I'm going to toss those over there for now and that paper out of the way. And now I'm going to stack and cut.
Do you want me to recount, make sure it's 35?
Oh, I'm going to stack them right now in stacks of like 6 or 7 and then chop them in half. That's all I'm going to do. And then half will go towards one quilt and half will go towards the other quilt. Like I said, this is like super cinch easy. Probably the most easiest thing we'll ever do. All right, let's stack this one and then we're going to grab my 5-inch by 15-inch ruler. That's great for layer cakes and stuff. We're going to see the inside of the pinking is my 5-inch. All right, so this will go with that pile.
I got you.
This will go with this pile.
I got you.
All right, restack again. And then until I get all this cut up. This one is directional and my pattern, this pattern is going to go this direction. So I want to make sure that I cut it sideways because it's a directional fabric. So I want it to be cut sideways. That way it has a top and a bottom. So I'm going to make sure I do that with my directional prints. Honestly, I'm not actually recounting again. I'm just like stacking them up. You know, that one goes with that pile. This one goes with this pile. So long as I have all the pieces I need, then we will sew this super duper looper easy project together. Like you could do this in probably just a couple hours. Like even if you don't sew fast, this is a project that can be done fast. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it should be like 66 by 70 or something like that. I did the math on my phone. I did the math first. All right, let's cut this now. This goes with that pile. This goes with this pile. Stack again. Okay, here's another directional, so I'm going to make sure I turn that because I want the picture to show. And when I sew it, I got to make sure that I sew it on right side up, not upside down. You know how hard it is to restack layer cake squares and jelly roll strips and charm squares after you've already opened a package? They never line up correctly. You know? No matter what I do, I try to make it right, but it's never perfect. Okay, slice the stack in half. Got that pile and this pile. And even though there's not a lot of brown in these prints, brown actually looks good with it all. So, surprise, surprise. Even though I don't like a certain color, or I'm not too keen on it, but just wait until I do my double wedding ring. Then I'll be like, okay. Then you you guys would be like, oh, wow, you are stepping outside of your comfort zone.
I like your hair.
Thank you. I try super hard to keep my hair not frizzy, because I have the frizziest frizz of hair. I have to use leave-in conditioner to make it nice, or else I have like super static clean hair. And I've tried all the static clean secrets, you know, where you like put hairspray on your brush and comb it through your hair and so on and so forth. That does not work in my hair. Oh, well, let's cut this stack. This stack's pretty darn big. It missed the spot right there. That pile. That pile. One last stack to go. Let's just restack them because they're not really nicely stacked. This one's directional too, so I'm trying to make sure. Ooh, I don't know if I made sure the other ones were. Oops. Oops. Oh well. If it's not, that doesn't matter, because guess what? It's a quilt and it doesn't matter. It's going to get used and loved by somebody. All right, last one to cut, and then all we have to do is open the layer cake and start sewing, because it's that easy. Like, that's all the cutting. Poof. You know? So simple. Okay. That was Tiffy proof. Like, seriously. Okay. Scissors. Snip, snip. Oh, look at that. That was not Tiffy proof. If you guys are wondering what solid I'm using, it's Cottonville. It's made in Korea, cottonville.com. I've had these before on my channel. I think this is the last of my Cottonville fabric. All right. Here we go. So with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, this is going to be the most easiest thing, like I said, that you'll ever do. You're going to take one of these and one of these layer cake pieces, 1/2 and a solid, and you're going to put them right sides together.
You need to iron this edge.
Nah, I'm just going to sew them with that edge messed up, because it'll get messed up anyway. Sorry, that's in the way. Whatever. Move all that out of the way. I'm just going to put right sides together at one end or another. It really doesn't matter, because they're all going to be the same end anyway. And we're just going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Make sure this has got a good stitch length, because I was doing other things. And we're getting a block. This is the block. This is how simple it is. There's the block. See? Done. It's already ready. So I'm going to chain piece all the rest of this through the machine until all these blocks are made. And I'll probably cut them apart and send them over to Scott to iron between them. That way the ironing part gets done while I'm working. This is literally that simple, and any beginner can do it. You can do this. This is, like I said, it's a beginner thing. So just putting it right sides together, sewing a 1/4 inch seam, sending it through over and over until the whole 35 pieces are together. This is the most easiest. And we're only doing this because I like to practice my custom quilting. And if I make Twinsie quilts, I can do one with totally custom quilting and another with totally different custom quilting. Although I won't be doing any custom quilting for a while, because my long arm is messed up. Poop. I don't know if you guys know, but you know what a metal bobbin case looks like, right? I have one in this machine. It's a metal case. That's what long arms use. Here's the circle case. The side part, there's a little flap that goes over and it goes into a hole, and you slide the thread up through that into the hole area. You know, that thing, that little flap that has the screw to tighten your tension. That bent, like literally bent in my long arm. Yep. One asks, how does something like that happen? Well, I have no idea, but it bent. Therefore, it screwed the tension up while I was on a client quilt. I do have an extra bobbin case. I have an extra bobbin case, but the extra bobbin case is really old, been used a lot because it came with the machine, and it is, let's just say, I can't get the tension correct on it for the life of me. And I've been loading stuff after stuff just to keep getting that tension right, but it's not working. So we have to wait until I get a new bobbin case, which we ordered already. So we're waiting for it to come in the mail, but it's going to take a few days for it to come in the mail. Until then, I'm not doing any long arm quilting. What?
How big is this quilt?
How big is this quilt? By my calculations, it'll be 66 by 70 or 66 and a half by 70, somewhere in that range. This is not going to be just lap size. Although 70 inches is pretty long for a lap. It covers from your neck to your feet and still have extra room to wiggle around in it.
It depends on how tall you are.
Yeah, it depends on how tall you are. If you're my friend Eric and you're like 6 foot 100, you know, yeah. Then you really need a big long quilt, but this will just cover his legs. But if you're short like me, then obviously this will be cover my whole body size quilt. Will you start ironing? Press these all towards this brown. Yep, I will just keep passing them to you.
Well, where's all the stuff at?
Here. Oh, it's down there.
What do I want that for? I need the iron stuff.
Oh, because they're still connected.
You have everything off the ironing board.
Oops, this one did end up sideways. I didn't even think to check it when I was stacking it. Oh well. That's okay, because guess what? It's going to be cute no matter what. Yeah, on the other side of the camera, my room is a disaster because.
Oh, am I pressing them to the brown or to the whatever?
To the brown.
Just in this way?
Yes, please. I've been working on client quilts, and I am now at a standstill on them until the long arm is long armable again. And the messed up one, there's a quilt that's got messed up quilting. I personally think it's messed up, like super messed up, but Scott says, oh, that's not even noticeable. So I already told the client, and she's well aware that stuff like that happens. But she probably won't even notice either. But I notice. So yeah, so I have a disaster in this room. I got a lot of stuff done though this week. Lots of job stuff and side stuff. And Scott spent 2 days on the embroidery machine making tags for me because I ran out. All my little projects were getting tags and I ran out of tags. So I needed tags for little projects.
Yep.
So he made me
tags.
Lots of tags. I think like 40 total tags or something.
48.
48 total tags, almost 50. Yeah, he could fit 12 on a thing, and he did 4 things of it. And then that also, we did client tags too, because the clients, I do tags for clients too with long arm quilting. So had to do those as well. So we did a lot of tags this week.
You want to show them the tags in? I want to know what the tags are.
I don't have one. You got to grab one that says my name.
Huh?
Huh?
You don't have any in the room here?
Nope. Nope. Just client ones.
I thought you'd have one in the room.
Nope. Just the client ones are in here. I didn't bring them in here to sew yet. He's going to hold up what a tag looks like. Raw, non-sewn, just only embroidered. It still has marking on it and everything. So that's what they look like when they come out of the embroidery machine. It is folded in half. And one side gets embroidered. The other side on little projects, I just write on the tag because there's no sense in taking it back to the embroidery machine after I've already sewn it together on here. I just make a whole bunch of them, and then that way I just grab a tag and sew it on. And it's nice to have homemade tags instead of ordering a, like a company type tag. Although we've thought about it many, many times to order custom little tags because it takes a couple days, 2 days to make 48 tags, so it takes a while. And 48 goes quick when I make a lot of small projects.
Yeah, we're talking from 8 in the morning to 8 at night when the machine's running.
Yep. So that embroidery machine runs quite a while. Yep, 8 in the morning to 8 at night. Yep. And then I still have to press them. I got to pick all the connectors between the eyes because it does lines and then it does the eye, but it's got one line between it, and I got to snip all that. And then press them, sew them, press them, sew them. And then I'll have a whole bunch of tags. They'll last me a couple months, hopefully.
Brown is looking good with these all yellow.
Yeah, the brown looks good with all these colors, surprisingly. It even looks good with this blue that I'm sewing right now. But I can take a yellow thread and an orange thread and quilt sunflowers in these blank spots. Oh yeah, that will look cool. Huh?
You're going to use yellow and orange?
Yeah, one quilt can get yellow, one quilt can get orange.
Oh, I thought you meant on the same quilt.
No, the way they both have different colors in them.
Yeah, I thought you meant.
Oh, he thought I meant the same quilt. No.
Every sunflower is going to be different. Oh, that's a lot of cinnamon thread.
And just like that, all of these are now sewn. That's quick, right? I'm going to snip them all apart. That way they're ready for the iron. And then all we have to do is lay it out and sew those together. That's why I brought both projects worth in here, because, I probably will have this done lickety-split. So that means we can do the second one while we're still here.
You don't need to cut, I can cut.
I'm getting them prepped for you, though, because it makes it easier. All right. So he's going to press, and while he presses, I guess I could...
Gotta press, he's been pressing. Sleeping over here.
I guess, what can I do? I guess I can clean up this mess right here. Or answer questions. Brown and teal remind me of high school era.
Okay, you want to do something
Kind
with
of
the
in
ones that are pressed already?
My embroidery machine is a Brother PRS 100, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, it's a PRS 100. No, I see a question that says, what is the kind of embroidery machine do I use?
I didn't see that. Well, what's the tag for it?
Huh?
What's the tag for it? Oh.
I don't know it.
Oh.
Because I don't remember. All right, the layout of this is going to be quite easy, but I'm going to wait till there's more blocks because there's not enough yet. And then we'll put it on the wall. Or I could just start sewing the other pieces, honestly.
The other quilt?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just start sewing the other one.
There you go. Get her done.
I'm just going to get her done. We're going to make 2 quilts today.
Get her done. Well, that was the original plan.
Yep, that was the original plan, so. This one opened easily.
I had to stop.
All right. Here we go. Same exact thing, but now just a whole second set. Turn these around.
Turn around.
This is like I said, the most easiest thing to do. Just gonna keep a sewing, keep on sewing, keep on sewing.
Why can't this not iron to the other side?
I have no idea.
Well, pretty much I noticed. I can't do it from the front.
You're probably not laying it right is why.
Okay.
And yes, I could make one ginormous quilt with all this, but I don't know if it's already 70 long. My brown blocks are 10-inch squares. You'd need just 1 layer cake and 1 jelly bar for this, or a layer cake and 2, and a layer cake of print and a layer cake of solid, and you can chop them in half and use your opposite sides of these for something else. Excuse me. Or you can do like me, grab 2 solid layer cakes, or even something that has a slight print like a blender layer cake. You could probably even use the other half of these for a border all the way around with all the leftover pieces. But I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to keep this plain Jane. I think they'll be cute. That's all that matters. 2 cutesy quilts. On t-shirt quilts, what kind of interfacing do I use? I use Pellon SF Shapeflex 101. On t-shirts, I think that's the best. And it sews really nicely because it's like a fabric. I actually use it when I make tags too. That way my tags are a little on the stiffer side. On my long arm, I use Glide. I 100% always use Glide. If I don't have a specific color in Glide, I do have a ton of Isocord, which is the same exact thing, pretty much. But I like Glide better. But I use Glide. I have not made any. Well, nope. That would be a lie. I did make a triangle bag in my open gate video. So yeah, I made a bag. When it comes to making regular bags, no, I haven't made bags in a while. I unburied the industrial machine to make bags, and then I reburied it again. Go figure. I mean, in reality, I do prefer to make quilts, you know, over bags. So I just dabble in bags is the word. I know I got a machine because I'm a dabbler, but you know, I like to make them. They're fun to make, trust me. But I don't make them as often as I'd like because I always end up making a quilt. What do I use in the bobbin when I use Glide? Glide. I use Glide in the bobbin and on the top.
Glide thread, the only thing the long arm likes.
My long arm 100% only likes Glide thread. It'll use Isocord, yes, but I cannot run any cotton through it. The tension gets all wacky. It makes the biggest mess because I quilt fast. I don't quilt slow. You know, even with the stitch regulator on, I kind of go a little fast and I make it beep all the time. The speed of things and cotton thread do not match with that long arm. It makes the biggest mess ever running cotton through that thing. So I just use Glide. And with that being said, I never really have to clean the bobbin case out because Glide is almost virtually lintless. Now, if I do a king size quilt, then I'll have to clean the bobbin area out, but it takes a king size quilt to have to clean that out. If I wipe it after every bobbin, nothing comes out. So after every bobbin change, you know. That's what I love about the Glide thread, because I can quilt and quilt and quilt and quilt, and I don't have a mess, which is good. Oh, okay, still a bobbin. Hold on, what'd you say?
The skull sewing machine.
Oh, my skull sewing machine. Yeah, it was a gift for my birthday / Halloween, which my birthday is close to Halloween. So the person found it in a shop and said, oh, that's Tiffany. I'm getting it for her. It talks. It's funny. It's just a toy, but it's cute. It's a cute toy that can be displayed all year round because it's a foot. Oh, come on. Go.
It's a sewing machine. It's awesome.
Yep. It's a cute sewing machine.
What make is your industrial?
What?
What make is your industrial?
My industrial is a Juki. It's a Juki DU 1181N. It is a walking foot machine. Scapo Lincoln. It's a walking foot machine, so it's meant for vinyl, leather, cork, you know, all those things. Thick fabrics. Everything else I can do on here because I don't sew. You can't sew 2 pieces of this kind of cotton through on that walking foot machine. Oops. Okay, I am out of bobbin. I knew it sounded like it was running out.
How do you rope seams with the help of your machine?
How do I rope?
ROPS.
ROPS. I have no idea what that means. So I'm going to show you guys what broke on my long arms thing. So this, let's see if I get it close enough. So this is a metal bobbin case, right? And then it has this little side thing right here. And the thread comes out that hole. So imagine this whole piece right here, the part that goes in, bent all the way out. This whole thing bent, and we can't get it to lay flat anymore. It's got a big bend on this side and on this side, but it bent out and got ruined. Weirdest thing, right? It's not supposed to break like that. And it's bigger because obviously the M class bobbin for the long arm is bigger than these ones.
You ready for me to land these?
Not yet. Are those all done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you all this after here. Here's the most of it. Keep them in a separate pile though, obviously. Oops, I'm a dummy. That goes there, that goes there. Yeah, all that. I only have 2 more after this to sew. And then you can have all of it.
Well, take all this for now?
Yep.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. We want the tall. How did that happen to the bobbin?
We don't know how it happened. I went to change the bobbin. I was quilting along. I'm not even doing anything. It's nothing spectacular. I'm not fancy quilting. Well, everything's fancy, but I'm not customly doing anything. And I could hear the sound, because I can hear sounds really good of the machine. And I hear the sound. It doesn't sound like the clinking sound that having a bobbin, having an almost empty bobbin sounds, because you can hear that clinking sound of an almost empty bobbin. It wasn't that sound. It was way different, but it was similar, but it was way different. And I just kept hearing this weird clanky sound, like it was ripping, and it felt like the tension was starting to get off, and I can see the poke throughs on the top. And I'm like, okay, so I look underneath and I see the poke throughs, but I still have thread. I'm still good. So I start quilting some more. Okay, wait a second. Okay, now I got to rip this little section out because it's messed up. Okay, I pop the bobbin out, and yeah, the whole thing's bent. Don't know how it happened. We checked in the long arm underneath, where the bobbin goes in. I checked everything. I went through everything, and guess what? Everything was fine. It's the way it's supposed to be. So how it got bent?
It's old.
It's old though. This machine has billions of stitches on it. It's well, this year it's pretty much 8 years. This year, as of February, it was 8 years. So I've had that long arm for that long. And guess what? That's because it's 8 years old and I've put billions of stitches on it. So that's how it happened. I don't know. Maybe the thread yanked it out. I have no idea. All right. Pattern to lay out with our blocks. I'm going to go from the bottom up because I don't know how tall 5 are going to be. 7 across by 5 down. So we're going to go, I know you can't see down here at the moment. I don't even know how far 7 across is going to be, but we're going to just start taking some of these and we're going to turn them, alternating their direction. This is probably not even going to be enough room, but
You got this, honey.
we can do it. We can do it.
You got it.
3.
Ironed out.
4. I don't know how far down you. Yeah, you guys can't even see this. 5. Like I said, I don't know how tall it's going to be. 2 more. Oh, that hurts my knees. That's why I have a designed wall so I don't have to be on the floor. Okay. Everything has to go over. I knew it. My brain said that I'm not going to have enough space. It's going to take up this whole
Oh, it's
wall.
gonna go up, down?
Yep.
That's gonna look cool.
Like I said, this is going to be the easiest pattern. Just give me a second to get this bottom row on here. I'll show you the whole thing once I get it all on the wall.
Want me to do the bottom?
Oh, I got it.
Well, I'm halfway done with ironing. I can do the bottom part, come back to iron it.
And then one more. Give me a yellow or something. There we go. Run it up like that. All right, so that is on. So right now I have them up, down, up, down, up, down. You're going to see once I lay that next row on here how it will be. So we're going to go up, down, we're trying to blend all these colors in. Up, down, up, down, down, up.
That is a lot of brown.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of brown, obviously.
That's a lot of brown.
Obviously, I cannot lay things straight, but you're going to have the general idea here. So this one will be up. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's go 2 more up. 4. Oh, I probably wouldn't have had to go that low. Okay. 5. Like this. So the whole next row faces down. See how simple this is? This is the most easiest thing you will ever make. You probably don't even need to lay it out. You probably just like slap it on a wall or slap it at this machine and sew a whole row of them facing up and a whole row of them facing down. Like literally, that's how easy this is. But this is going to allow me to have a lot of space for quilting some beautiful sunflowers in the blankness. You know, just a giant sunflower and all of that. So this row goes down.
You can quilt it with, like you said, bright yellow,
Yep.
bright orange,
A bright yellow
and
thread
sunflowers.
with a sunflower in it, you know?
Yeah. Sunflower. That's awesome. I like it.
Yep. All right, and then this row will be up. 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 And this row will be down.
Yeah, and they like the
Up.
shorts.
Thank you. I like my skirts too, because every time I bend down, you don't get to see my booty, you see shorts. And they're comfortable too. All right, did I not say that this was going to be easy? Because this was, and I made one extra, go figure. So I did go over. I'm going to pull something that out of it and replace it with this goes up. So let's pull out. Pull out this. Replace it with this. Honestly, let's put this one in this one's place. There we go. And then this one over here. There we go. I really don't care. The next one is just going to be whatever. How did I make one extra? I thought I counted properly. I guess I was on 16, not 17.
I told you I'd recount, but you said no.
All right, so that's the gist of it. All goes one way, all goes the other. Let me come over and hold the camera so you can see. And then we're just going to sew them together. Just like that.
Oh, that is cool.
See how easy that is?
I like that.
It makes a statement in a way, you know. You could probably even do this with scraps, honestly. You don't even have to use this. So I'm going to stand to do this part. So each row, literally, don't have nothing to nest. I literally just sew 2 of these together. They should be 14.5 inches. Let's find a foot pedal though to do this.
Let's find it. He ran away.
And you literally just, I let my seam allowance sway right there. There we go. Smart. Resew it. So this whole row I'll press to the right, and the next one I'll press to the left, and so on and so forth. So I'm literally just going to take and sew them together. And I'm not sewing with any thread.
That could be an issue.
Yeah, it could be an issue when you don't have a threaded machine.
Do you have pockets in your sports?
I do not have pockets, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Hey, I got them all of them. I have like 8 pairs of them for $1, so I'm not going to complain. But it's summertime pretty much here now.
We hit 100 already.
Yeah, we've already hit 100, so there was no such thing as spring here where I live in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. There's no such thing as spring whatsoever. Just went from cold to hot. And then hot is where it'll stay until that, pretty much till November. I am cooler though, because we get this 70-degree weather in October. Because by Halloween, I'm usually wearing a sweater when I go outside. At night, not during the day. During the day is hot.
We've had Halloween where we took kids down to the street and we were all sweating. It was so hot.
Yeah, we've had Halloweens where everybody was sweaty hot, but
it depends. Most of the time it's really hot. Last year was. Or October was well into the 90s until it hit the 90s.
So I did 7 across by 5 down, just so that you guys know. I have to repeat it. It's very, very easy to do. I have nothing to match except for when I put the rows together. That's it. I lived in California as a kid, but I don't claim California. I'm an Arizonian through and through. I came here when I was a teenager and fell in love and stayed. As a teenager. I moved when I was 16. Oh, one more. Duh. I thought that row was done.
Don't forget his haircut yet?
Thumper did not get his haircut yet because I've been having back problems with, if you guys have been following along, something's wrong with my tailbone. So I can't sit on the hard floor, so we got to find a way for me to sit on a cushion on the floor. We have tons of cushions. And then hopes that I can sit there because it takes about 40 minutes to cut his hair. Because, well, he doesn't squirm really or anything, but it does take a minute to cut his hair. All right, I'm just going to leave this row right here in front of me and start sewing the next row.
Hopefully he'll get his haircut this week.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get his haircut this week because he's waiting for it. He has been laying at the door. Like he sits in the window and then he realizes it's too sunny and he walks away.
He lays in the hallway and meows.
Yeah, and he lays in the hallway and meows. He says, it's too hot. Take off my hair. All right, so this next row, I'm just going to press to the left.
Oh, my ironing?
Yeah, this whole row goes to the right. You don't have to, though. I'll do it because I'm quicker.
Okay.
And then this whole row will go to the left. Simple quilts. This is what it's all about. When you just need a quick and easy quilt for a gift, this is it. You still add all that lovely color. And like I said, you don't have to use a solid as your thing. You can use another print, something that goes with all of it. Like, say this one right here, you can use this print for the background of all of it. You know what I mean? You can choose something from the line itself and use that with every single one.
What part of California are you?
I was born in Long Beach, grew up in Norwalk. I got to meet Snoop Dogg when I was a teenager in Long Beach. Boy, he could rap back then. But yeah, I probably lived next to movie stars and didn't even know it. I did know Gwen Stefani from No Doubt. That was back when they were a garage band. You know what? I have too many oranges in a row. Where can I put this one and replace it? I'm going to switch this out because I had way too many oranges in a row. Which is okay because guess what? I really don't care, but I don't want your eye to get stuck on one color.
How many quilts do you quilt in a day?
How many quilts do I quilt in a day? It all depends on how big they are. Sometimes it depends, like if it's a king size quilt, that if I'm just doing it all over, that takes a few hours for me. I am not computerized, so I'm all hand guided, and I can only stand at the frame for an hour at a time. So I do work for an hour and then I stop, and then I work for an hour and then I stop, you know? So it all depends. But I have been known to do at least 4 quilts in one day. Long arm quilt, 4 quilts that were between lap size and queen size. That's about the most I've ever done in one day. For big quilts. For little quilts, I can do 15 in a day. It doesn't really take me long. You guys have been with me live before on a live stream while I've long arm quilted. Yeah, it depends on what I'm quilting on it.
Is it just a quick meander?
Yeah. But like a quick meander, if I did 5 baby quilts with a quick meander, I'd probably have them done in, you know, a matter of 2 hours, probably, all of them. But that's just because that's probably the easiest design I know how to do. Now, if I was custom quilting them all, I'd probably do 1 a day. All right, this row I'm pressing to the right, by the way, which I'll have to have you move all that off the ironing board so I can press these rows.
Oh, what? There. There you go. Look. You want to do that for an iron?
No.
Okay, then. I don't know where you want that. That's your other quilt.
that can go where my iron is sitting. I don't know why it's sitting there.
Because it was in my way.
Put it on the floor.
Oh, does it look like you got a room?
No, I won't.
Hey, be careful. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Well, I think I'm working up a sweat. Time to tie my hair up.
You need me to go get your...
I brought it in with me. I knew it would only last a few minutes. I'm using a 1/4 inch magnetic. I'm using a magnetic seam guide set at a 1/4 inch.
There you go.
I let my. So I've been veering lately. I don't know why I'm doing that. I think my brain thinks it's coming straight at me. I have no idea what's going on. I've done it like on a bazillion things lately. I got to go back and sew again because my brain is messed up. That's what it is. Funny thing is I'm holding everything nicely too. And I have a seam guide, so you'd think that everything would be nice, but...
The magnetic guides work with all machines.
Magnetic guides do work with all machines unless you're using one of those specialized like $20,000 embroidery sewing quilting machines. I don't know if I would put it on there, even though there's no electronics on machines that are, you know, computerized. There's no electronics down in there, but there are the electronics that run the thread cutters and the this and the that, and you know, and just to keep your... If you spend $20,000 on an embroidery quilting machine, I would 100% not take the chance. But those also come with specialty feet that have a mark, you know, like a foot that has a side thing on it for your 1/4 inch seam. So in reality, you wouldn't even need a magnetic seam guide. But all the other machines, like this especially, you can use a magnetic seam guide. All right, now I'm going to sew this row, and this row is going to go towards the left. Notice I'm not even finger pressing now because I'm going to take it all over to the iron and just do it there. My real nails will thank me from not finger pressing. I have a finger pressing tool, but that takes an extra minute or two, and you know, I do whatever I can to avoid taking time. As you can tell, because you've been watching me so long. These fabrics are adorable. Adorable. The kind of machine I am using now is a Juki TL 2010Q. It stitches like 1,500 stitches a minute or something like that. Although to me it seems still too slow. but whatever. Scott put a link in. I personally, because I've had all sorts of machines in the beginning, and I despised every single one of them. Kept wanting newer and better. And if you just want a straight stitch forward and backward sewing machine that has a built-in thread cutter but goes fast and is solid, you know, this is not plastic. Nothing here is plastic. It's metal machine. All the parts on the inside are all metal. If you just want something like that, this is the best machine for you. I only say that because I own 2 of them now. Instead of going to a different brand, I stayed with the Juki after the motor went out on my first one. I still got another, you know? That's how much I like it. I've sewn on other machines, friends' machines, so on and so forth, but I still like this. And prefer this over anything. But I'm a Juki fan. I do own a Juki industrial and a Juki one with all the other stitches that you would need. The HZL F600 and then my DU 1181N is the industrial. So if you need one with other stitches, I like my little HZL thing. I don't use it enough, but it is on the floor. Because I was using it for Breakfast at Tiffany's episodes, which we will be doing this week, I think, is a Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yep. This week, we will continue on our gnomes. It's the gnome project. So don't forget, if you're working on the gnomes, I will be on this week, and we will put our gnomes together into something. Table runner. I got to finish appliquing them, though. But we'll do that on live, because it doesn't take long. Like a little refresher. Because everything else won't take very long to do. Is the iron on?
Yes. Okay.
How often do I oil it? Well, I don't know. I oil it when it starts getting loud, if that makes any sense. The machine is already a loud machine, but I'm trying to think right now. Where was this from?
I don't know. Does it go with this pile, or is that one of your extras?
No, the extra I threw over there.
Because this pile I put over here.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. Let's go back, because now I don't remember.
Machines?
No, I do not cover my machine. Well, my ones that aren't in use, yes, those are covered. Right, left, right, left. These are right.
You use the majority of them,
Yeah.
so they're not covered.
Yeah, I use most of them. They're not covered. Well, the Juki that I use all the time does not get covered. My other Juki has a case, and my brother machine just has a towel over it. My other brother, the serger, has a towel over it. And then the industrial has a plastic cover. That's it. And there is a cover for the Juki. I just don't cover it because I use it too much. So there's no sense in covering something that you're going to use constantly. At least I feel. But if I was to like go on vacation for a week and I didn't want dust all over my stuff when I come back, I would cover it. But I'm not going on vacation anytime soon. So I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
all right.
Don't go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't go nowhere. So this was the bottom row. I'm just going to lay it on the wall for a moment like this. Now that I've made a disaster. All right, this one goes to the left. It's very easy to press this quilt even because it's literally, there's nothing extra. It's just squares and rectangles. Oh, come on. Although right now my squares and rectangles are getting, this iron is so lightweight that sometimes it doesn't roll things back. All right, this row goes here. Again, I'm just kind of putting it on the wall momentarily. It's all wrinkled and whatever, but it's just so I can get these pressed. This one is to the right. This is probably where I stopped finger pressing.
This quilt would be on the bed of one of the boys in the Brady Bunch.
Yep. Brady Bunch quilt. All right.
Have you done any
left.
Angela Walters free motion quilt challenge quilt?
I have not done any Angela Walters free motion quilt-alongs, but I have done the stuff that's in them. I just never got the stuff for the quilt-along or joined the quilt-along itself. I at home did my own thing. You know, obviously everybody does it from home, but you know what I mean. I just used it as a guide. But I've watched lots of her videos on using her rulers because I have a bunch of the rulers. I think I have every single one of Angela Walters' rulers. Pretty sure I do for the long arm. Well, you can use it for sit down too. All right, and then this one was right. And then we could sew them together.
Yep.
Just like the Natalia Bonner classes, the virtual classes by YouTube, you know, I do those too, but I do them from home, and when I want to, I don't really do a whole panel or anything that she offers with the stitch-alongs. I kind of just do my own thing by watching the videos here and there. Just for a general idea. I really love to watch Sam Alberts. If you guys have not watched Sam Alberts, she is an amazing quilter, just like Bethany, what's her last name? Starts with W or something like that. Those are people that I like watching because it starts with an N. Bethany something. Anyways, you guys know who I'm talking about. She's a famous quilter. And then I watch Susan Smith on Stitched by Susan. So I get a lot of my ideas and, you know, practice along with them. All right, so this goes right here. Right sides together, and all I have to do is nest the seams. I should sit for this though because it's a long seam. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna put these two seams together. Wait. I did something wrong. Oh no, I didn't. I'm gonna put this whole thing on my lap. It's the best way to sew long seams, especially if you're not pinning them, because I'm not pinning. There's no sense in it, for me at least. I'm gonna back stitch. I'm gonna grab the first two seams to nest. I'm gonna hold it as if it was a pin. Sew to it, leave the needle down. Grab the next seam, sew to it, and leave the needle down. That's all I do. I'm just nesting it. They're in opposite directions. Grab that next one. We didn't have to cut or change any sizes, so everything is exactly the same. Which makes this the most easiest beginner quilt possible. You don't even need a pattern as a beginner. You just chop Get a Jolly Bar or chop a layer cake in half. Choose out 35 pieces. Grab a layer cake of a regular layer cake. Literally sew the half Jolly Bar or layer cake pieces to a whole layer cake background, and bam. Done. Just like that. All right, line up the end. I'm going to go ahead and press this real quick. Just going to press towards the top row, which you guys can't really see. I'm not even being super careful with my pressing. I'm kind of just giving it a push back because everything else can be pressed off camera. No, I got it. All right, so I'm just going to lay this right here in front of me again. Grab that next row. Lay it on here. Put the whole thing on my lap. Take those two top pieces, put them together. Bam, just like that. So easy. Just have to adjust the rest of everything, obviously, on the table because, you know, it tends to want to do its own thing and fall. So just to keep adjusting, but that's okay. You'd have to do it if you were pinning or not. See. All right.
What thread do you buy the most for your Juki?
The thread I buy the most for my Juki is Essentials thread. Yep. You can get it at Connecting Threads or Superior Threads. Either one. They both sell it. I usually get it from Connecting Threads, though. And I buy the 10 packs of thread. Of the white, cream, black, and gray. Which I'm still working on because I had a bunch. And that's where I get all the colors for my, when I do color stuff too, is Essentials as well. Not just my piecing, but for my like top stitching and stuff with binding. That way I don't always have to use the glide thread from the long arm. All right, I'm going to add that next row on here. Just going to lay that like this. Bring this over here. Right sides together. Sit on my booty. Turn the whole thing onto my lap. And rethread my machine. Just because I'm doing too much stuff over here, it's knocking the thread right out. Backstitch. Nest that first seam. Right now I'm using Aurifil cream.
Color.
I don't know the color. It's cream. It's
They didn't Aurifil. They did.
It's color 2123. That was really hard to read that. What do I use the most? Usually a cream, a gray, a black, or a white. It depends on what I'm sewing. When I make black quilts, I always use black thread. Reason being is because even that slight pull on the seam, if you used white thread, you're going to see it. If you use cream or gray thread, you're going to see it at that slight opening of the seam. So I tend to match black with black always. Every other project, it's a toss between using cream, white, or gray. Every now and then I'll piece something in a color, like a random color, but that's very rare because I try not to waste those. I use them for binding, you know, and other things. So I try not to waste my true color ones. All the, you know, reds and greens and pinks and purples and yellows. Actually, I don't have any purple. I used the last of my purple, so I need to actually get some purple.
Oh, you should tell me that.
But yeah, you know. All right, one more row to attach. Uh, 7 across by 5 down, 35. All right, last row. All right, put this all on my lap. And that's it. That's what I call quick, fast, and in a hurry. So let me press this back real quick. All right. Let me make sure this is pushed behind here again, because it keeps coming out. It's very crooked. It's time to change out my wall because it's literally getting annoying. All right. About right there. Will you help me real quick?
Yeah. You get it. I can get it, honey.
Okay.
All right. You got it.
All right. There it is. All done. One down, one to go. Like I said, the easiest ever. Simple. So simple. And just to make sure my math is correct. Oh, this is upside down, but whatever. It doesn't matter because it's not really directional. 66.5. Oh, let's see if I made it equal. 66.5. I'm not even going to measure the third because I'm going to assume it's 66.5. And then 71. Came out 71. So 70. So my math was off on that. Look at that. So in less than an hour and a half, you can complete your very own. Let's do number 2. I'm on a roll, you know, I might as well just keep going. Except this one.
You'll have number 2 done before it's over.
Except this one, I'm not going to lay out. I'm going to grab a piece and then grab another piece. Let me make these stacks like this. And I'm going to sew this one in long rows instead. And then flip.
Why do we have the straight bar and the brown bar between?
Huh? What? Where?
Should it have been turned around the bar?
Where? Where's the bar?
In between.
This? Because the two browns touch.
Yeah, but.
So I'm going to do sunflowers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right, so I'm going to do this one
Be closer together.
this way. I'm literally going to take one and then hook the other one, and I'm going to hook it in long rows and hook the 7 rows together. So I'll hook these in rows of 5 without laying it out. All right, and then this one will go, hold on, this way, and this, we'll put this one here, and this one here. I'm going to do all 7 like this, and chain piece. How about that? Just line them up. That's 2. Oh, come on. Grab one of these. This will be on the top next. And this
You could do this one from vertical.
That's what I'm doing, vertical.
Yeah.
I'm doing vertical, except I'm chain piecing my vertical rows. And essentially, I'm web piecing the whole entire thing.
Do you have an idea for the backing?
The backing will probably, since these are 60, what's 60 and 60? 120.
120.
What is, I'm trying to think real quick. 66 and, I'm trying to think. I want to go this way. Oops, I just made a boo-boo already. Because I'm trying to think math.
You're going too fast. It doesn't have to be done tonight. They saw this one.
Yep. I'm not going too fast. The talking distracts me sometimes. Now I forgot what I was even saying. What was I even talking about?
What are you going to put on the backing?
Oh, the back.
16, 60,
I was trying to see if it was equal to a 108 because I could put them both on the same, but it's not. Because, you know, if I have a 108, then I can put them both on the same 108 backing fabric, but it's not. Unless I buy have more than 4 yards, then I can lay them side by side on a 108. All right, where was I now? So that one's there, brown goes here, and this side goes on the brown. Let me get rid of these little. Oh, the ripping wheel.
You already did it.
I already did it. If you would have asked, let's hope that does not hope that I mess up again. But if I do, I'll show it again. Or you know what? I could just purposely do it. Honestly, I could just show you guys purposely mess up something. Hold on. Let me at least sew this one correctly, and then I'll mess something up, and then Scott can bring the camera around, and you're only gonna get it once, so you gotta pay attention. Because you can only rip something one time. I'm not gonna keep sewing and ripping. All right, bring the camera over here.
Okay.
We're gonna sew something together wrong real quick.
You don't have to. You can sew it together right. Just rip it and then resew it.
Oh, true, I could sew it together right and then resew it. That's right. So this one's going this way. This one's going that way. So I'm gonna purposely sew this. Oh, he doesn't even have you all the way over here.
No, I don't. Wait.
Okay, so I'm gonna sew this real quick. Oops, I don't like it or I sewed it wrong, okay? So what I do is I take and rip out. See, you need to come closer.
Oh, well.
You didn't put it close enough.
Sorry.
Move that trash can. That way you guys can see. So I'm going to rip out 1 or 2 stitches. Oh my goodness. And I don't backstitch, so technically I can just rip like that. I just pull them apart. I don't have my glasses on, so I really can't see that well. Anyway, I'm going to slide this under my presser foot. See? I can yank on it. It's under my presser foot. It's holding it. Then I'm going to take the ball and put it on the bottom underneath that stitching. And the pointy part is at the top. I'm literally going to pull back like this. And I'm going to hold right there at that stitching. And if I get it in there, and then I just slide it just like that. That is how you use a seam ripper, my friends. Just like that. I can do it while it's not being held by the machine as well, which I used to do in the beginning. But then I was like, why don't I just use the machine to hold it, you know? So that is how a seam ripper is supposed to be utilized. All right, now I just got to get rid of all these little thingamabobbers. Either way, that's how we seam rip. And I'm trying to web these, so I got to start that real quick. So let's make sure this is lined up. I did have it the way I wanted it, right? Yep. Oh, no. Oh, well, whatever. We're just going to pretend it is the way I want it. I'm messing it all up already. But I'm not going to rip it again. I'm just going to start putting these in sets of whatever, and then just sew the sets together. This one would be this way, technically. I'm just going to sew them together in sets of 2. And there I went and did it again. See, I'm veering that way. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the talking, I think. When I talk, I'm more distracted. Trying to mix things up here.
I never saw someone demo by sewing it incorrectly then ripping it.
Well, actually, I sewed it correctly. Just ripped it. It's not hard to do. It's really easy. Once you get used to it, you know.
The goal is to hopefully not mess up.
The goal is to not have to use your seam ripper, my friends. That's the goal. But obviously, every now and then, we have to use our seam rippers. It's just you know, the laws of quilting physics. It's the laws of quilting physics. Oops, I'm dropping things on the floor. Oh my goodness. I can't even pick things up. Yep, I got it. I definitely have sewn more than 7, but like I said, I'm just chain piecing everything together right now. And then I'll put those, I'll decide the rows from there. You know. I just need to make sure that I have 7 non-pieced pieces. There we go. Oh my goodness, come on. And 2 more. And then we will turn these into some rows. 7 rows of 5, that is. All right, so I'm going to literally put them on my lap. Bless you.
Thank you. Dust.
Yeah, we create a lot of dust in this room, causes so much sneezing and coughing. I'm literally just putting these on my lap, my friends. Nope. Nope. All right. So these will be sewn like this. And I'm going to grab this end right here and sew this onto it. So there's 1 row right there. Make sure I snip that apart. All right, there's 1 row. Let's do that again. Can you put the camera over there? Because I keep feeling like I'm going to knock the darn thing.
Okay, yeah.
All right, camera's moving, my friends. Camera is being moved. Let's put this one in that row. Bring this end up and sew something to it. And put bobbin in machine. So here's the deal. You don't get very many long arm videos. Sometimes you see me doing it in my open gate boxes, but you don't get really very many long arm videos from me because nobody watches them. And lots of people unsubscribe to them. So they'll be watching it and then they just press unsubscribe. Don't know why. It's been happening for years, and that's why I stopped filming long arm videos. But I mean, if you guys really want long arm videos, I can bring them back again. It's no big deal. I do long arm a lot. But it hurts my channel. And I don't know if you guys know anything about, analytics towards your YouTube and things being whatever, but it hurts the channel if it's not right. Doesn't make any sense. So I only kept the videos that people watched and did good. Because a lot of people don't even have long arms. But there's one thing about long arm quilting. You can do everything I do on a long arm on a sit down. So you don't even have to have a long arm for the things that I was filming. So, but I can bring them back. It's no big deal. The camera isn't very steady on it, though. I do have to say that in advance, and that could be why people unsubscribe, because it's not very good quality video. All right, add one to the end of this. And rethread machine because it didn't want to stay threaded again. So building next to the machine is, what causes it to knock out, plus the fact that I kind of go too fast and do things fast. This one, end of this one.
Tray you have your bobbins in?
Yeah, it's not a pull-out tray. They're at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. They're just these little containers. I have one in my regular drawer, one that I keep with my stuff under here, and then one over here to the side of me where there's actual pins and so on and so forth. They're just little Dollar Tree things. Come on. Open up. There we go. Thank you. That would have been nice though, hey, if they built a, some kind of little drawer underneath these extension tables. I mean, there's a lot of room at the end that I don't know why they wouldn't put something there. That would be smart. So if you're a sewing machine company and you're, designing the extension tables, having little drawers and all that empty space would work perfect. All right, one more row to sew. All right, let's put that. No, two more? Oh, wait a second. One. We're going to have to find that other one because it's somewhere. It's somewhere over there. Let's attach this. All right, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get to see me rip again. I knew it was somewhere over here. My goodness. We put the seam ripper away. We didn't want to use it, you know. But I mean, it happens. Poop happens. Separate. Slide this in. If you can get it in between, you know. And then just, bam. So simple. Seam ripping made easy. And if you have one of those seam rippers that has that little eraser end, oh, that makes things so much easier.
What size are your colored pieces?
My color pieces are 5 by 10. It's literally half layer cake pieces. That's all it is. So the big piece is a layer cake square. The little pieces are half layer cakes, which in terms of whatever, they're called jelly bars. All right, throw this here on the end. And then I'm going to sew these rows together. That shouldn't take too long, right? All right, here we go. So I'm going to take this one onto my lap. Let's see, that one started with it down, so this one's going to start with it up. How about that? They don't have to be the same, right? And then this, we'll throw it on the floor, and we use this one. So this one will be started with the brown touching the brown, like this. I'm not even going to take these ones to the iron. We're just going to sew these rows together.
One said you could use the second one as a back and have a double-sided.
I could use the second one as a back. I have to make it bigger, though, to do that. I have to sew something around the whole entire thing. But I can make it reversible. But I think I just want to make twinsies. They're the same, but different. We call them fraternal twins. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. I'm not even going to go press it. We're just going to grab another row from the floor. Let's choose this one. And then this one will have color. Which one has a color on top? I want a different one. This one has orange. We want orange. We don't have no orange right here. Let's put some orange right here. So I got the color on the top now. So this is showing that you can make it in two different ways, rows sideways or rows up and down. I'm making it up and down right now. And this time I didn't even lay it out. We're going to see what it looks like when you don't even lay something out. And that's these seams, though, along the way. Just making Making sure that everything is nice and flat on my lap. Next row. So this one will start with a brown. So let's grab a brown side. Ooh, I got so much floor dust on this. It might not have been a good idea to throw it on the floor.
This room was just vacuumed.
Yeah, I know, and Scott just cleaned this room too. It's crazy how much dust fills this room. I wear black in here all the time, but can you see I'm covered in little spots of thread? My goodness, you know? Yeah. Yesterday I was in here just getting things ready and I was covered. I had a black shirt on too. I wear a lot of black if you haven't noticed over the years. Even my regular clothes are black. I wear a lot of black. I know, I live in Arizona and wear black. It's weird. I just think it looks good on me. But anyway, yeah, I came in here. I wasn't even in here 5 minutes yesterday.
Hey, I love to wear black.
And I was covered. Yeah.
Our whole 2 months of winter.
Yeah, Scott wears black in the whole 2 months of winter. That's about it.
What were you saying yesterday? You came in here?
Oh, I was in here. I wasn't even in here for 5 minutes, long enough to make those 2 tags that he needed. And I was covered in thread on my black shirt. Thread and thread dust just from cutting fabric. When you live in a quilter house, you need to carry a, what is those things called? A thread remover, like a rolling thing. The lint brush. When you're a quilter, especially if you're new to quilting and don't know yet, you need to carry a lint brush at all times. You can be out at public, go to a restaurant, and you'll find thread in your food. Do you know how I got there? Because you drug it there on your sock. It got in your food. You know, it just randomly ends up. It's so funny. Mine ends up in my hair a lot, so my brush has got...
They're telling you to wear your apron. You never wear your apron.
Yeah, I know. Apparently my apron's just there for decoration.
They can see it in the camera. It's there.
Yep. The apron's there. Yep. All right, I'm just going to start with that.
No point putting it on now for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it on now for 10 minutes, for sure. All right, let's sew this row on. I love this. This is so freeing. Just to, even if you are an advanced quilter, just to sew something like this, just to do it, you know? It's like freeing because you really don't have no rule. It's just sew and go. Get it done. This is the kind of projects, you know, you have, well, I'll say for you guys, 4 hours of notice that your friend is having a housewarming party and you need a gift. But we always give quilts because we're quilters, right? So this is one of those quilts that you can have made, quilted, and bound in 4 hours or less. For sure. Anybody. I don't even a beginner. Because you're not doing anything extra. And as you can tell, you don't even have to pay attention to your rows and how they're sewn. You just sew them on. And if you use scraps, Even more better. All right. 2 more to go. This one starts with brown. Sorry. That one went like almost in my mouth. Oh, let's not put the white first. Hold on. Let's do this one. Starts with brown. That way it's blue and then it'll end with white because that was close to white. Here we go. So the quilt up. So that quilt up. Sorry, I know I'm weird. Is the iron still plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I'm gonna give it a quick press and then. It'll be done. Well, after the last row. But that should only take a minute. All right, last row, which starts with this one right here.
What kind of design would you suggest when quilting this quilt on an everyday sewing machine?
If you're at a sit-down machine quilting this on an everyday machine, I would do sunflowers in the big blank spots, in these spots. Same as I'm gonna do on the long arm. You can do well, depending on your fabric, say you have checkered fabric, then I would definitely want some kind of curves. Just do a spiral, filling that whole space. Then go to the next one, do a spiral. And since you're on a sit down, you can start and stop 500 times. It's a little bit easier to start and stop on a sit down like this, free motion quilting, than it is on a long arm. But yeah, you can put a different design in every block. This is allowing you the option to practice your free motion quilt. An ability to practice. Try a new design in every single brown square, you know? That's 35 brown squares to practice something in. So this can definitely be used as a free motion quilting skill builder quilt. And whoever you gift it to would be none the wiser that you practiced on it. Oops, I veered again. I gotta stop this whole veering thing. It drives me nuts that I'm doing that. All right, I'm gonna press this, and that will have meant I made 2 quilt tabs in the span of 2 hours. That will mean, sorry, you know what I'm saying. So, like I said, you guys could do this in a very short period of time. I know you can. I believe in you. I'm just giving it a quick press. It's not even going to be perfect because I'll press it better later after camera, after being on the live stream. We'll see how much different this one is compared to the first one. Oh, come on. This iron really does not do good with full pieced quilts.
I asked you if you wanted the other one. Why am I plugging the other one for?
No, it'll take too long to warm up. Well, I need it to at least not be folded looking. All right. Do you have any questions? Because now it's time to meet Quilt A's fraternal twin, Quilt B. Oh, the camera's facing down.
Not really.
Yeah, really.
They can still see half of it. But okay, let's turn it up then.
Hold on.
The table wouldn't be the wall up to here.
All right, so this is pieced together in long rows. And look at that. It's the same exact size too, it looks like. Yep, exact size.
Honestly, I think I like this way better.
Oh, the long rows pieced better? It's exactly the same. The colors are just in different spots.
You put this one on upside down, that's okay.
Yep.
There's two of them in direction.
Yep. So there that is. 266 by 70 quilts. I just need to give them a better press because, you know. So look at that. So Sunday had a Twins Day. All right.
You should put that as the title. The Super Easy Quilt Project.
Instead of Super Easy Quilt Project, change it to Twin Day.
Yeah.
The Twin Quilt Day.
Twin Quilt Day or something. Yeah. I like that as the title.
Well, you can change it. All right. Any questions? Let me look here. So like I said, super simple. Let me go one more time. Between the both quilts, it was one layer cake and then two brown layer cakes, one for this quilt and one for the other one. But for if you're just making one layer cake of your background fabric, it can be a print as well. It does not have to be a solid. And then a jolly bar, one jolly bar, or a layer cake cut in half, okay, to get you 5 by 10 inch strips. So, and you only need 35 pieces to do 7 across by 5 blocks down. And you're literally just hooking one of these to one of these, one of these to one of these. You don't even need a pattern. Nothing needs to be written down. It's so simple. I just attached all of these strips to this first, and then I just put them like this one I did in rows and laid it out, but or in this way rows, and the other ones I did in columns up and down. And it's the same thing each way. It really doesn't matter. But all you have to do is nest these seams right here. Just these seams. There's no nesting right here, anywhere. Just this seam and this seam. That's it. It's that easy. Like the most easiest thing ever. So if you need something quick and easy, I just made 2 in 2 hours. I know you can make 1 in that amount of time. All right, let's see. Let's see, I would cut those blocks in half and sew another half block to the other side. Yep, you could do that too. All right, any questions? Because I'm going to get off of here. Nothing. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for hanging out. I had so much fun sewing up some twin quilts with you guys. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Ta-ta for now. Toodles. Later, Gator.